We're just outside the Eurostar terminal, just over 100 miles away in Calais. It's kind of the biggest example where there's hundreds of migrants at any time trying to get into the UK. And there's a lot of resistance to the increasing migration controls that are going on. We here today are part of that resistance movement as well. And we should kind of take strength in the fact that this is happening and that we are fighting against borders and taking a stand and saying that we should be free to move and free to settle wherever we want.
My name is Majid. I'm from Iran. I'm 25 years old.
We saw him in Calais 2 months ago, and fortunately he managed to escape.
I wanted to report from a meeting that took place last week in Parliament called Can You Hear Us? 9 women who had been detained in Yardswood spoke about being illegally deported. Women spoke about being detained with their children, about being made to work for slave wages in Yardswood, about being convicted for crimes of poverty after having won the right to stay in this country, and then being put into Yardswood straight after serving their prison sentence and under threat of deportation away from their children. We can't allow for people to be deported and sent to their death. The government and the media, who often sound like the BNP themselves, often want to make up that people in general in this country don't want asylum seekers to be here. When faced with the reality, for example, a family about to be deported in their community, people do rally around, school children do petitions, local papers write articles. That shows how strong the movement is.
I'm helping with the Mothers Campaign of the All African Women's Group. It was set up by women who had to flee their countries, leaving their children behind because they thought they would be safer without them. And also they thought that when they came here they would be given the help needed to reunite them with their kids. Quite the reverse, they are treated as single people when they claim asylum, and more than that, depending on how they get status, they are not automatically given the right to family reunion. And also, given the number of years it takes to gain status, if their kids turn 18 during this time, they're not allowed to join them.
What we need to do is show that there's broad public opposition to these rules, no matter how many scare stories or how many moral panics you see in the press.
No violence! No nation! No deportation! No violence! No nation! No deportation! No violence! No nation! No violence! No nation! No deportation! No deportation! No violence! No nation! No deportation!
There is too much freedom here. It's very important that people stop being
Piccadilly Circus is such an exciting place where we have all this wonderful advertisement, video stream constantly going on. And people are wondering, what does this have to do with surveillance? This is the headquarters of Westminster CCTV, the new model for the future surveillance in big cities. And this is a very important place to go to demonstrate. It's time that we point out that migration controls is nothing else than controlling the movement of people according how it fits to the economy, and that's why we're here to protest. To demand freedom of movement, freedom and self-determination. We don't want to be controlled, we don't want to be filmed all the time, and we don't want to be survived.
We are under the illusion that this is a free country. It's masquerading as a free country. This is a livestock management program. And you are not a number, you're a human being. You're born free, you will live free. You do not need a passport, you do not need identification, you do not need to answer questions as to where you're going on a day-to-day basis. All these things are lies. The government should be a government of the people, by the people, for the people. We do not work for the people. We are not slaves in an economy. We do not exist to provide manpower for an economy which just so happens to brutalize lots of people around the world. I am proud to be standing under the Palestinian flag here in Piccadilly Circus. Because deep down we are all Palestinians living under a murderous government. Every single government in this world is a liar and a murderer. And I'm just so proud to be just one man amongst many who will stand up for freedom in the ongoing dialogue between tyranny and human rights. So thank you very much for coming. Stay strong, keep your chins up, and we will win this!
We marched in the streets, we stopped the traffic, and we got the message across against deportations and against the holding of women and children and men in camps, basically in Britain, in prisons. They haven't been charged, there are no trials. That just held indefinite. This is indefinite detention going on in Britain, and people are then deported.
If you are unemployed, you are still amazing. If you are an illegal immigrant, you are still a human being. Stop watching television, mainstream media. Stop reading mainstream newspapers. Stop filling your mind with anti-human propaganda.
It's the bankers that run the world, and lots of people don't know who they really are. They're trying to get everybody against each other through divide and conquer, so that we're all distracted and don't realise who they are. Don't do anything about it.
We will watch the watchers in every theatre, in every bank, in every school, in every airport. When they film you, you film them. And they try and stop you, just point out the hypocrisy. I do not see my signature anywhere saying that I consent to being filmed 24 hours a day. They might as well just stick a camera up my ass and see what I've had for breakfast.
Just for fun.
No, just for fun. Just for fun!
Ladies and gentlemen, allow your children to walk through full body scanners at the airport. Do not worry, naked children stops terrorism. Having everyone naked might stop terrorism, except for those naughty terrorists who hide a bomb up their ass. Sorry, I've mentioned ass twice now, sorry. Just because you're wearing a uniform doesn't mean you are not a terrorist. You could also be a terrorist. Just to make you